Hello. Recently I started putting together my first Rangers of Shadow Deep warband, and along the way I came across some miniature kits that might be useful for your own adventures as well. Particular sets that caught my attention are from Oathmark, another army-based miniatures wargame designed by Joseph McCullough. Based on what's available on Northstar, here are some kits I'd recommend considering. Now, while Rangers of Shadow Deep might seem visually geared towards human characters, at least based on the rulebook's aesthetic, it isn't strictly limited to them. You could easily expand your warband with miniatures from different races, like dwarves or elves, which Oathmark has to offer really. However, for the sake of the consistency with the other picks on this list, I've chosen to focus on human miniatures. The human infantry and human light infantry sets provide 28mm plastic miniatures with each box containing 30 figures. Each set includes 6 sprues, with 5 miniatures per sprue in different poses, along with multiple head options and a variety of hand weapons, including axes, maces, swords, shields, spears and bows. What I really like about these kits, and the ones to follow, is that beyond the variety of weapons, they offer great kit bashing potential. Since Oathmark is designed for large-scale battles, these sets provide more miniatures than I typically need for Rangers of Shadow Deep right away. But the extra pieces and leftover figures make them solid long-term investment. Another great source of miniatures is Wargames Atlantic. I particularly like their historical sets, which offer a wide selection of miniatures spanning from ancient times to colonial era. But recently, they've also launched 2 new classic fantasy kits, designed for the upcoming semi-cooperative skirmish game, Guards of Traitor's Toll. It's currently available for pre-order and is set to release worldwide on Friday, February 21st. These 2 new kits contain the guards and villagers miniatures, both essential for playing the game. Each hard plastic box set lets you build up to 24 miniatures, whether as guards, adventurers, mercenaries, henchmen, villages, or anything else your imagination can create with the included assortment of parts. Both sets feature male and female body options and a variety of weapons, multiple arm bows and plenty of additional accessories. The same applies to their classic Age of Chivalry kits, which also come with 24 to 30 miniatures per box. Each set includes a broad selection of weapons, like swords, falchions, axes, maces, spears, halberds, you name it. And if you'd like to hear more about this new game, let me know by pressing the like button, and I'll do my best to put together some material as soon as possible. Next on our list is Perry Miniatures, a company known for its highly detailed and historically accurate figures. Each kit in this range includes 36 to 40 plastic miniatures featuring a mix of wood knights, billmen, archers, crossbowmen, all clad in chainmail, brigandines and full plate armor, perfectly reflecting the late medieval period. These miniatures capture the look of the 100 Years' War between France and England, as well as the Wars of the Roses in England itself. Unlike some of the other kits in today's list, Perry figures lean towards a more realistic style, which might make them stand out a bit in a dark fantasy setting. However, I still think they're a fantastic choice and could add a lot of depth to your game. Now, if you are looking for another option packed with variety, Joseph McCullough has another gem, Frostgrave. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to play it myself yet, but I do see an opportunity to change that in the future. What's interesting is that Frostgrave and Rangers of Shadow Deep share a similar aesthetic, meaning their miniatures blend together seamlessly. This is especially useful for those transitioning from Frostgrave or considering expanding into it later. And that's really one of the biggest advantages of miniatures agnostic games, the freedom to mix and match models while saving money in the long run. But you probably already know that. While Frostgrave offers a wide range of choices, here are some sets worth considering. These Frostgrave box sets provide an incredible number of customization options, making it easy to build a unique warband. The Soldier and Barbarian sets, for example, allow you to assemble up to 20 miniatures, with an astonishing 100 weapons, 40 hats, and 30 pieces of equipment. That's a huge amount of variety to create truly distinct characters. The Wizards and Knights sets contain fewer miniatures, only 8 and 10 figures per box respectively, but they still include up to 50 weapon and arm variants, along with the plenty of hats and equipment pieces. As with all the miniatures in this list, they are 28mm scale, unpainted, and require assembly with a plastic glue. Before we wrap up, there are a couple of other things worth mentioning. First of all, Rangers of Shadow Deep also has its own line of miniatures available through North Star. Unlike most of the kits we've covered today, these are primarily metal miniatures rather than plastic, which slightly limits kit bashing options. However, what I find interesting about these models is that they include some mission-specific miniatures, bringing the author's vision directly into the game. Do you need this? Not really. But they could make a great addition, especially as your campaign progresses. Another thing we haven't really touched on is monsters. Both Wargames Atlantic and Frostgrave offer some excellent monster sets, including skeletons, gnolls, cultists, and more. I think I've given you a solid starting point, so feel free to explore these options at your own pace. Yeah, it's hard to recommend just one specific set, since all the options in this video are highly customizable and work well for conversions. But if I had to choose, I'd probably lean towards Frostgrave and Wargames Atlantic miniatures. That's not to say the other options aren't worth considering, quite the opposite. It really just comes down to the type of ranger and warband you want to build, which is just a personal choice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It's a small click for you, but a big help for the channel. And if you're still unsure about the kind of ranger you want to create for the campaign, I recommend checking out this video, where we go through the character creation process and explore some of the most effective builds. That's all for now. Take care.